Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with Cambium Networks. The host is Judy McCall, and she is their Territory Account Manager. She will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box. We will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Judy, thank you so much for your time. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Okay, thank you, Julie. And thank you to Microcom Technologies for inviting me and Cambium Networks to present today. So our topic today is hospitality multi-dwelling unit. But I will weave a lot of knowledge that I have in that space and have worked extensively now in this space and kind of talk to you about where we fit in the space and what we can help these enterprises with. So I am the Territory Account Manager in the Central region. I'm very familiar with most of the partners and a lot of the customers we have here at Cambium Networks. But, you know, my slide says Cambium Networks who? In the enterprise? No, only Cisco's in the enterprise, only HP's in the enterprise. That is not true. Cambium Networks is an enterprise player. So we have a rich heritage. You know, we were spun out from Motorola Systems in 2011. So we've been privately held for 7+ years by Vector Capital. The biggest thing that you need to know about Cambium Networks is we have that rich heritage in RF. We understand wireless. We do wireless and we've added switching, which we'll talk a little bit about today. But I do like to point out that 16% of our revenue goes back into R&D. And why is that so important? That's important so we always have our cloud manager up to date. We'll talk about our cloud manager. We want to have the latest and greatest APs, whether they go with point-to-point solutions, point-to-multipoint, or Wi-Fi. So that's a little look at Cambium Networks heritage. So Cambium Networks, who's this for? So when you look at Cambium Networks in the enterprise, especially in the hospitality and MDU space, we fit in very well. So what I'd like to do is talk about applications we have across the globe with customers that are really hospitality driven. Now, you look at this and say, oh, Facebook, everybody knows Facebook. But they're in the business of connecting people, and they want to make people happy. Recently, they've maybe made some decisions that isn't true. But we helped Facebook, starting 2 years ago, to connect the remote villages in India. So we created a network for them, a Wi-Fi network, so people in these villages would have smart devices and they could connect with their friends. They connect on Facebook, of course, and we used our Wi-Fi product plus all of what we call our backhaul product, our point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, because those products are what brings internet into that remote village. So great hospitality customer of ours. Mount Everest, you know, at Mount Everest, it is a hospitality spot because there are climbers who want to get to the top and come back down. And the Sherpas surely do too. So we have our E500 Wi-Fi AP. It's been there for 2+ years now. It's never gone out. It's never frozen up like some of our competitors' products do. And it's there for the climbers and the Sherpas to communicate with their friends and family. In the national parks, recently we've done a microwave connection in the national parks. And again, this is a hospitality location because people go and enjoy themselves and they see the beauty of our national parks. And we use our outdoor units. We do the microwave there, and we're even looking at some new indoor facilities and concession stands at the parks. So next time you go to the Grand Canyon, see if you can find the receivers that have the microwave that go across the canyon. They are there. Another great hospitality venue, we always think of stadiums, we think of soccer fields, but there's a lot of outdoor and indoor stadiums that convert to gaming facilities. So gaming could be internet gaming, or it could be soccer matches, cricket matches. We always host the South Asia Games. It's about 4,500 athletes from 8 nations, and we provide Wi-Fi for them, and then we bring in a temporary large pipe of internet so all the people in the stands can use the internet. So in this particular situation, we use a lot of our 30-degree sector antennas as our AP because you have such a density of people in the stands that want that coverage because they like to stream to Facebook or they like to put everything on Instagram. So kind of the be-all, end-all for the people that go to these games. They have great Wi-Fi. The cricket stadium that we've done holds about 30,000+ visitors. So this is an outdoor venue, a lot of density. So we use the same kind of configuration as the Southeast Asia Games. And this is the largest cricket stadium in India. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let us use the name of their stadium. Everything is working fine there, but we do have that stadium under our belt. And now, when we think of hospitality, traditionally you think about hospitality as, oh, a hotel. Well, it's more than a hotel. It could be suites. It could be a vacation venue. So we have several hotels we've done over the years, and this is just in North America. Recently, we're starting to do choice hotels, some Best Westerns, and some Super 8s. The Royalton Group joined our family last December. We've done 2 of their properties, and those installations have gone beautifully. Shoshone Bangkok Casino the installation is finishing right now. They're opening that. It's in Idaho. We did our very first hotel that I personally worked on 2.5 years ago. Is the Rushmore in North Dakota. You know what's an interesting story about the Rushmore is that TripAdvisor was receiving quite a few reports of bad Wi-Fi. So one of our partners in Arizona found this bad remark about Wi-Fi quite a few times at this hotel. This is how he does his marketing. Called them up and decided that they wanted new Wi-Fi. So he put the E400, our original Wave 1 AP in, and one outdoor for a porte-cochere, and provided really good Wi-Fi service. And you know, if you go on TripAdvisor now, you will not find a complaint about the Wi-Fi at Rushmore. And Hotel Atwater is on Catalina Island. We replaced all of the Ubiquity equipment that they had there with our wall plate unit. And the Hotel Atwater is very, very happy with the service that the Wi-Fi provides and the ability to add and also manage their Wi-Fi through our CN Maestro portfolio. So great customers, and we're adding new customers every day. We are bidding on a few very large hotels being built right now in Las Vegas. So keep your fingers crossed for us winning those. So what does Cambium Networks have to offer for an enterprise, for a hospitality customer? This is a typical kind of drawing that will show, remember, if in hospitality, the first thing you have to do is you have to bring in a pipe of internet. And the internet pipe has to be big enough to service either your one facility, that might be one hotel, where you give 2 megs per guest or a visitor. So you have to bring that in, and you can bring that into the building and have the internet then spread from building to building using our point-to-point or our point-to-multi-point solutions. So then when you look at that, then you go into the intelligent edge infrastructure. So once the internet is at the location, then you bring in Wi-Fi into the hotel room. And you have a variety of APs that we'll talk about next that can go in there. You can have higher density APs for the conference rooms and the banquet halls. I've done one recently where it's an apartment complex. It's being built right now, but what we did is we put one 2x2 AP, our E410, in the hallway between the 2 rooms that happen to be right across from each other. So it was taking one AP and servicing 2 rooms. Or if you want to have even more connectivity where you connect maybe a smart TV, IP telephony, maybe allow a guest to cast, you could use our wall plate. And we'll look at those products very soon. So you have to manage all these things in a hospitality application. So the cloud is very important. So our CN Maestro is our free cloud manager on-premise or housed in our cloud through AWS. So if somebody wants to put this cloud manager behind their firewall, go ahead and do it. We can handle that, and it's still at no cost. So it allows you to rapidly onboard those APs. So at a hotel, let's give an example of a hotel or even a stadium. Generally, you're configuring each of these APs the same way. You have the same power considerations, channel size, and usually the rights of what you want this AP to do. So within CN Maestro, a really good thing that you can do is you can create models. So when you onboard, let's say 100 APs for a very small or medium-sized hotel, you pick out model A, you apply it to all 100, their program. They can get them up and running if they have power to them, they have, or they're using PoE switches. You can turn those on very rapidly. Then you can always look and see every day, every week, or get an email now of APs that might go offline. That's available through our cloud manager. So we also have a captive portal built in for hospitality. So that would be for guest access. You might want to give them 60 minutes of free internet. Most hotels don't do that. They give you free access. But if you're not a loyalty member of a hotel, or let's say you're an apartment complex and you're just a guest and you're not the person who dwells in the apartment, then they can give them guest access and rate limit how much they can download or stream. And then also you could have a pay solution. So Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, credit card, where you then could charge them $4.95 for so much capacity. The other thing that we do a lot is we turn this captive portal through our cloud service on, and we do a lot of charging in RV parks and marinas. Keenes Marina is a good example on the Detroit River of a great hospitality customer. We installed 15 APs last year on the outdoor. We have a captive portal going up this year. We brought in a larger pipe of internet through our EP&P product, and we provided great service, and still do, for Keenes Marina guests. So when they go to their boat, they still want to use internet and stream at night. And we've provided great service for them. They did have a Ubiquity solution that we displaced, and they have a lot of happy users that used to complain a lot. So really, really good. Now, the other thing to look at is, we are hospitality ready. We have multi-tenancy. We talked about this modeling and workflows that make it easy to install our product. And the biggest thing, and we'll talk about this in the next few slides, we have disruptive economics. And what I mean by that, we do not license our product. We have 8x5 support that doesn't cost. We will give you a 5-year limited lifetime warranty now on the indoor product, 3-year on the outdoor product. And you do not have to, we do not require you buying a mandatory maintenance package. That's disruptive. That is very disruptive. And again, we do have support 8x5 at no cost. And you can open a ticket and you can chat and do all the things that other providers will do for service. So this is just a nice little look at our portfolio. So let's go into a little bit more depth on what we have. So on the right, you will see the E410. On the E410, it is a Wave 2 2x2, and that 410 without a PoE injector goes for $225 list. And with a PoE injector, in case you don't have a PoE switch, then that will go for $245 or $249 list. Remember, limited lifetime warranty, no software license. E600 is a 4x4 on the 5 gigahertz side of the radio, and 2x2 on the 2.4 gigahertz part of the radio. So the indoor, that unit runs $375 or $395. So those are our workhorses inside of a hotel. Now, if you wanted that wall plate to go in the individual wall plate bracket, you could use our 430H, which is our Wave 2 2x2. We have 4 gig ports on the back. And remember, the gig ports are used for IPTV, could be for casting, it could be for VoIP also. So we've got 4 ports. It's pretty robust. It has a Kensington lock on it, so people can't steal it from the hotel and use it at home, which you could do. You could also use this in a classroom. You know, generally with wall plates, those are one by one. Somebody asked me a question last week. Well, if my desk in my hotel is exactly the same place in the room next to me, could that provide enough Wi-Fi for both rooms? The answer to that is it just depends on what the wall is made of. I did a Hotel Aquarius in Mexico, in Cabo, I should say. I think it's in Cabo. And they had cinder block walls. So we did a Ubiquity rip there and put in, well, they actually put in a second set of Ubiquity before they decided they couldn't work with that product any longer. So they tried ours out, and they had to go in a 1-to-1 ratio. So it just depends on the facility itself. On the outdoor, you can see our outdoor models here. The E500 is our 2x2 Wave 1 unit, omnidirectional. We sell the most of those. They are, I mean, they are a workhorse. I've had the original 500 on Daytona Beach now for 2.5 years. It's never gone offline, and it still works. The 501S is the same as a 500. It's a 90 to 120 degree sector, so you can really concentrate your Wi-Fi. So where I'd use this is, let's say you have a soccer field and you want to provide Wi-Fi for the parents. Find out where, if they're standing on the field or if they have small bleachers, you take that AP and you point it up into the bleachers so everybody has that Wi-Fi. Again, remember, you have to have enough internet coming into that soccer field to provide enough bandwidth for each person. 502S, definitely a 30 degree sector. E700 is our new 4x4 outdoor AP. So let's talk a little bit about price on these. The E500, right at about 500. The E501 and 502 are right at I think 549 list. And then the E700 is 795 or 850, being the 4x4, and it will handle more capacity. So great coverage, simple portfolio. But remember, affordably priced, no license, no mandatory attach of maintenance, 5-year limited lifetime warranty, 8x5 support. So really robust for a hospitality solution. We introduced CN Matrix in December, and CN Matrix is our switching portfolio, 8-port and 24-port right now. So let's look at what we have here. So this is enterprise grade, layer 2 and some layer 3 functionality. You use the same CN Maestro to manage these. You can do zero-touch provisioning through the CN Maestro. We have policy-based administration, so you don't have to learn command line interface. We do have security profiling and segmentation. And then we have a 5-year limited lifetime warranty on these with great total cost of ownership. You know, when I look at this on the 8-port and the 24-port, you really have a robust solution when you package it together with the CN Pilot. That's a look at the actual switches themselves. Basically, they look like a lot of other switches. And then this is a real busy chart and just talks about, you know, on the 24-port, you know, we have 4 uplink ports where we only have 2 on the 8-port. It is a gig switch, so you don't have to worry about that 10, 100, 1,000. We do have dynamic routing. We do have internal fans, fanless on the PoE on the 8-port and the non-PoE on the 28-port. Don't need fans there because the PoE switch is being outside. So lots of features and functionality. We talked a lot about CN Maestro already, but CN Maestro, you know, the benefit of having this is you can onboard, you can manage, you can schedule firmware updates. Like, for instance, we did an RV park, I think it was Sunday night. My partner did that RV park, and it's in Atlanta, and they have, I think they only had 7 or 8 APs. They actually need more APs, which they're going to put in soon. But we just scheduled that to go off at 1 a.m. We figured most people were in bed at the RV park. There was no homeschooling going on, and went seamlessly and upgraded it to our latest release of Maestro. You can also look at all the APs. If you're a partner and you manage, let's say, 40 different customers with our APs, you can look at each individual customer to see what's going on. You can get alarms off CN Maestro. So lots of capability with CN Maestro. Again, there's no cost to this. It is free. That's just a quick snapshot of, as of last September, how many countries we're in with CN Maestro, you know, and all the APs that we manage and all of our portfolio that we manage. The only thing we don't manage with CN Maestro is our 820 microwave product. That's the only thing we don't. We have some plans in the roadmap to look at that late this year, next year, but that's the only thing we do not manage with CN Maestro. So what's next? What's coming next year, really it's this year, but we're waiting for the ratification of 802.11ax. That is the next Wi-Fi standard. And with AX, you're going to have, instead of 4x4 spatial streams, you're going to have 8x8. There's not a lot of devices right now that can handle this. So right now, if you're upgrading to 802.11ax with another manufacturer, number one, the chipset could change. Therefore, you probably would have to buy different APs down the road. You're not going to have a lot of capability with APs and devices that handle AX right now. What AX will do for you, it just serves different traffic types like video and voice more efficiently. And you have some resource scheduling. So, for instance, if you were doing video recording and doing uploads to your website and you're intense with this, you know, you could schedule that traffic. So that will be coming with us with a new AP late this year. So in the previous slides, all the APs that you did see, those are the last APs in the Wave 2 world that we will manufacture. So why would you sell our devices or buy our devices? Well, this is the reason why, and I'd like to just spend the last part of the webinar before our questions really talking about the difference. So, if you bought our E410, our Wave 2 2x2, $225, $245 if you have a PoE injector. No license, no cloud price, no software maintenance, 5-year limited lifetime warranty, so your cost list price is $225. Look at the competition. I mean, somebody said to me, and I was doing an analysis today of a Ubiquiti Unify 5-pack, and they're 4x4, and I'm not picking on Ubiquiti. I could go to AeroHive or anybody else. Nobody has the low total cost of ownership of our solution, plus gives support. Very important. Looking at a ball field right now in Florida, and it ended up, my partner did an Ekahau design on it, ended up being 25 APs. But you know why they liked it? That we had the built-in captive portal, we have a great outdoor solution, and CN Maestro was free. And they originally proposed Ruckus, and it was double the price without the license renewal. So consider Cambium Networks. Total cost of ownership is very important for you or the customers that you serve. We provide one of the best total costs of ownership. So with that, Julie, I'd like to open it up to questions.
Thank you very much, Judy, for that presentation. We enjoyed it. And yes, I do have some questions here for you. Let's go ahead and get started with this first one. While mounting the units in stadiums, would you mount them above the stands or underneath the bleacher seats?
Usually it's underneath, I'll say, not always just the seats, but depending, like if you had a high school application, we would have to look at, is that metal or not? Probably do a test with an AP, because a lot of times you will shoot the microwave up into the stands, and sometimes it's underneath. It just depends on the construction. Now, I will say with stadiums, you do need to have a site survey on a big stadium, of course, and really thorough engineering. On the smaller On the smaller scale, you know, the tools for Ekahau and even some of our link planner tools, they do a very good job of placing those. Now, the other thing you have to know besides the placement is what is your density? How many people and how much throughput do you want to give them? Because you have to figure that out, and then you have to figure out how big the pipe of internet is that you can afford, number one, or can be brought in, number two, or that you will pay for. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Let me go ahead to the next question here. How many CN Pilot APs were used in the cricket stadium that would not let you use their name?
The cricket stadium, as much as I have been told about it, used over 1,000 in the combination of 501Ss and 502s and some 500s. So it was a lot. And I'll tell you, when you start doing large, and I'll just call the NFL grade stadiums, you really have to, that's a big project. And you really, and those kinds of projects, we get involved. We expect, you know, our partners to get involved also. But it just, you have to really set expectations first on a big stadium like that.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. Next question here. Does Cambium have in-wall app models?
The only in-wall we would have is that wall plate, that the 430H. That's what we would have. The others, you know, depending on the design, if you could run a wire to, you know, where the outlet is, you know, there's some creative things that could be done, but that would be our only in-wall unit, our wall plate. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Thank you so much. Next question here. It's a little long. Let me see if I can get this correctly.
Okay.
If a client wants full assistance of a location for setting up a hotel or a public location, do you have 24-hour contact that one could call or email to give assistance for product recommendation when our customers send in a floor plan?
We do not have, well, we have, like, for instance, the Wi-Fi team and my RTMs in North America. I get those a lot. And what happens is if we can get the digital print of the hotel or whatever we're working on, then we can import it into Ekahau and help out. 24-hour, I can't say, yeah, we have people in China, we have people in India, we have people in EMEA, so we are 24-hour, but we don't have a contact center where you'd call in with that. We would call in, Microcom would call us and say, okay, we've got a stadium in XYZ. And then we'd get the proper regional technical manager that could help out, definitely. And then Microcom has some of those services also.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Next question here. It says, I see you are targeting large audiences. What is the maximum number of simultaneous users connected on a single device?
Well, the ratings in Wave 2 on the 2x2, it's 256. You know, if you're giving them each 1 megabit kind of coverage, you're probably looking at the 70 to 140 people range. It just depends on what you're allowed, if you're going to rate limit them or not. So the other, the Wave 2 4x4, the soccer field that we just did with the 25 outdoor APs, they were E700s, the 4x4s. We in the traffic modeling within Ekahau, we looked at 2 megs and the ability for, I think simultaneously with the 25, we could connect somewhere in the area of 3,000, but we had to rate limit them, definitely. So remember the standards going forward, even in the Wave 2 standard, everybody will look at the Wave 2 standard 2x2 at 256, and then the Wave 2 4x4 at 512 users. That's because of the standard that's ratified, just like we're waiting on the AX. Now, the AX will bring us a lot more capability. I think they said it's something like 1,028 or 1,024. And then it just depends on what internet pipe you have coming in. So I kind of look at it like a cake. I'm going to make this much frosting on the cake and spread it around. But I'm not going to have one end of the cake really heavy with frosting and one really light. I'm going to even it out.
Excellent. Thank you, Judy. Next question here. Regarding the 802.11ax, when will Cambium be releasing devices that can support them?
It should be Q4. We're waiting on the ratification of the standard, and then we'll be waiting on the chip manufacturers to manufacture the chips with the ratified standard, so we don't have to, take a run at that what we think might be the standard. We want the ratified standard, then we'll put it in our design. So we're targeting right now Q4 of this year. But the ratification right now is not supposed to happen until August. So that could slip into Q1. But remember, the nice thing about 802.11ac Wave 2, it's, backwards compatible. So AX and AC Wave 2 will work together. So what I envision is if somebody puts in Wi-Fi today, if they want to add AX, maybe they've got a denser space, they can do that. They won't have to change everything out. They can just add AX as they want to enhance their services. Good question.
Excellent. Thank you. Can you give us an overview on the best way that Microcom can reach Cambium for technical support, at least Microcom US? I know we talked about 24-hour support, and that there are, you have offices all over the world, but for US, can you tell us what would be the best way to go about reaching out for tech support?
Yeah, if you've installed something for a customer and let's just say something's not working, you can go, it's www.cambiumsupport.com, or just go on our website and there's a button at the top right that says support, and then you have to sign up. So you have an email and a password, and then you can open tickets right from the support site. Very, very easy.
Excellent, Judy. Thank you so much for answering those questions for us today. And thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. If you wish to view any of these products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us, and they should be there. Please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. One more time, Judy, thank you so much for your time, your presentation today. We greatly appreciate it. And everybody, have a fantastic day.
Thank you. My pleasure, everybody. Have a great one. Thank you.
Thank you.